Alright, hey everyone. I didn't think I was going to be able to do this little discussion vlog today, but I actually got off early of school and I said, I have enough time to record something quick. So, reading the title, first of all, this is Binary Domain on PC. I'm very disappointed with this game. Not in the fact that it's not a great game. You all know what I feel about Binary Domain. I gave it best story of 2012. But it's just a port on PC. There's no like exclusive DirectX 11 effects or anything. It's just a port. That's about it. So I was kind of disappointed in that it was just that just a port. I mean, the only really reason to get this other than the console version is just full 1080p resolution, but that's about it. So anyway, what I wanted to discuss is this thing that has been in a lot of people's minds over these past few years for gaming. And that is the single player dying? Especially with sales these days, we see a lot of games, especially the more recent ones, just pack multiplayer in because they know that the general gamer today, having multiplayer in their game reassures them that they are paying for more or less a full package. And these multiplayers are often undeveloped. A good example would be Tomb Raider. It's very undeveloped, and it's just kind of thrown in there to say, hey, we have a multiplayer mode. It's $60. You're not just paying $60 for a 12-hour game or so. And I was looking last year in particular as something that I noticed, and also this year in 2014, I was looking at the upcoming games, and I said to myself, and I realized that there are a lot of great single-player games that are single-player only games, too. And a lot of games that are coming out that people are really getting specifically because of the single-player. 2013 was a great year for single-player games. It really was. We had, Tomb Raider, obviously. There's Bioshock Infinite, Metro Last Light, Remember Me, The Last of Us, The Bureau, XCOM Declassified, Grand Theft Auto 5, which also was, a huge multiplayer game, but a lot of people bought that, I think, mainly for the single-player campaign. Beyond Two Souls was another one. And, there's a lot of these games coming out that have a lot of effort and a lot of great quality put into their single-player modes. It's like multiplayer. It's not that it's unimportant, but it's that people usually, when we talk about the games specifically that came out in 2013, people bought those games because they were great single-player games. And looking this year, I see even more growth in the single-player market. I mean, look at Thief coming up. It's a single-player only game that a lot of people are really excited for. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, single-player only game a lot of people are excited for regardless of the game's length. Infamous Second Son. There was a rumor going around that it was going to have multiplayer, but that rumor was later shot down by Sucker Punch themselves. So it's going to be a single-player only game, no competitive multiplayer. I don't know if they're going to have that UGC stuff that they had from Infamous 2, but let's just say it's single-player only. Look at a game like Watch Dogs, where it has a multiplayer component, but really, when you think about it, everyone's excited just to play the single-player campaign. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, a huge single-player game that people are really anticipating. Just today, The Order 1886 was confirmed to be a single-player only game coming out. Which again, it's great. It really is great. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, single-player only. There's just a lot of great games that are coming out. Evil Within is another one. I mean, Wolfenstein: A New Order. The list really just goes on. And these are all games that are coming out this year. And when we hear stuff like, oh, the single player is dying, and it's all going to be multiplayer, or really the only way to entice players is to do something like Titanfall and Destiny are doing, where it's sort of like a story or some sort of single-player elements that are mixed in with the multiplayer themselves. And, when you look at all the rest of the games that are coming out that are really single-player exclusive games that a lot of people are just buying the games quite specifically because the single-player looks good, it's really exciting. And it really reaffirms the single player market, that it's here to stay and that it's not going to go away. It's the same thing. You know, there's a lot of speculation going around with game consoles and whether and how long they're going to last. Whether this is going to be the last generation with game consoles and we're just going to move to a stream-based system. And you know, Microsoft has come out and said there's going to be another Xbox console. Mark Cerny just today actually said that the consoles are going to do really well into the future and that this isn't the end. And you know, it's pretty you know, awesome to see that, you know, especially going back to the single player thing. This is really great. It's really awesome. And when you look at the games that are coming out, you know, I challenge everyone. Think of a game that you're really excited for. Think of your top 5 most anticipated games and pick out of those top 5 games how much are single player only games or how many of those top 5 games that you're only excited for the single player. And you know, Watch Dogs is a good example, even though it has multiplayer. And I think the reason that I'm saying that is because we haven't really seen multiplayer gameplay of Watch Dogs. You know, they haven't really announced anything like that. But maybe in the future, you know, when they show the multiplayer and exactly explain to us what it is, it might be something people can be really excited for. But it was just something I was thinking, you know, and I mean, like I said, all those games I mentioned, and even Murdered Soul Suspect. That's another one that's coming out single player only. Uh, um, so I mean, I don't know. It could be a sign of like what's to come, you know, that we're going to start seeing more growth or a stabilized set number of single player games that, like an average, that we just expect to come out. It's really exciting. I for one am glad because even though, you know, I'm the type of person that I don't dislike multiplayer, but I would always prefer single player over multiplayer. If I had to choose to decide which one would stay, I'm the type of person that would choose single player. And it's not because, you know, I don't like multiplayer. I enjoy good multiplayer as much as the next guy. But it's going back to that last vlog I did about the emotional connection, about the experience. I like multiplayer, but you can't get an emotional reaction from multiplayer. You're not going to play a multiplayer game and be in tears. It can't do that. It's a competitive space, you know? It's a place to go in there and have fun and play competitively. And, you know, it's a place where you can more or less test your skills with other players. But it doesn't have that emotional interaction that you can have with the single player campaign. You're not gonna sit there and be like, this is just an intense moment. You know, if your friend dies next to you, you're not gonna sit there and reach your arm out at the TV and be like, no. It's not gonna happen in multiplayer. That being said, though, multiplayer is one of those things that just adds great value. And I know even my best friend today, I remember asking him about Far Cry 3. I said, would you have bought Far Cry 3 if it didn't have multiplayer? And he said no. I wouldn't have. Even though the multiplayer in that game was, I mean, I liked the multiplayer, but a lot of people thought it was trash. But he said no, he wouldn't have bought Far Cry 3 if it didn't have multiplayer. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate, but that is the mindset of a lot of people today. And, damn phone. And I'm just really happy with the state in which, you know, the game, the state, in the direction that we're going in with the games. So, anyway, I just wanted to mention that. I wanted to talk about that. Let me know what games you're excited for, and what particular experiences that you're really looking forward to, you know, in the year. So, I for one am really excited, and I can't wait. I really can't wait to experience all the great single player games that are coming out. So. And you know, there's quite a few of them, as I just mentioned. You know, I'm sure you can dig in and find even more information. There's some even Quantum Break is another one. These are all games that you know, some of these games don't have confirmed multiplayers, but they're just, I mean, some of them we just expect to be single player only. But that's it. I just want to make a quick vlog on that. I'm really happy with the direction it's headed in, and I for one cannot wait for the future. So I'll talk to you all later. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.